Good evening. Welcome to the State of Business on RTV, and I am Rukshi Panditharatna. Let's take a look at the headlines first. Director General of Bribery Commission resigns. Duration of power cuts reduced. Now the news in detail. Director General of Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption, Dilrukshi Dias Wickramasinghe, has sent her resignation letter to President Maithripala Sirisena today. She was handpicked by the government to be the Bribery Commission's Director General in 2015. It is speculated that her resignation is directly linked to President Maithripala Sirisena's recent outburst against FCID, CID and Bribery Commission. Meanwhile, the spokesperson of Sri Lanka Freedom Party, State Minister Dilan Pereira, expressed views on the resignation of Director General of Bribery Commission at a media conference in Colombo today.
ඒ සමහර කට්ටිය තොප්පි දාගෙන ඉල්ලාස් වෙලා මම දන්නේ නැහැ මහ බැංකුව අධිපතිතුමා අයින්ගේ කාලේ දික් කරේ නැහැ අගමැති උපදේශපත්‍රය දෙනවා වගේ දිල්ලුක්ෂි මැතිණිය ඉල්ලාස් වුණ පත්‍රයක් දෙයිද කියලා. ඒක බලමු අනගතේදී. මම කිව්වේ හැබැයි අනිවාර්යයෙන් කිසිම චෝදනාවක් නැතුව මොකටද ඒ වගේ දක්ෂ නිලධාරියෙක් ඉල්ලාස් වෙන්නේ. මේ පරීක්ෂණත් එක්ක සිදුවෙච්ච එක කාරණයක් තමයි මේ අර හාල් මැස්සෝ කතන්දර එළියට ආවා. තොරු මොරු කතන්දර පස්සට තල්ලු වුණා.
Ceylon Electricity Board imposed power cuts from this morning following a technical mishap occurred Saturday morning at Nurochuli coal power plant. The CEB said power cuts will be imposed in 4 blocks covering the entire country. However, electricity will not be disrupted within Colombo city limits and to hospitals. The Power and Renewable Energy Ministry said due to breakdown of Nurochuli coal power plant, the electricity generation ability of CEB has come down by 900 megawatts. Accordingly, 1 hour power cut will be imposed during daytime and during night. The electricity will be disconnected for 30 minutes until Friday.
පළවෙනි දේ තමයි සිදු දේ පිළිබඳ සොයා බැලීම. මේ සඳහා කමිටුවක් පත් කරා මහාචාර්ය ජනක ඒකනායක පෙරදින විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ මාර්ග ප්‍රධානත්වයෙන් සති දෙකකින් මේ සඳහා මේ සිද්ධිය පිළිබඳ වාර්තාවක් අපිට සැපයීමට තමයි මේ කමිටුව පත් කරේ. මොකද විශේෂයෙන් අපි හිතුවේ දැන් මේක අපි දැක්කා අපිට ලැබුණු විශේෂඥ තොරතුරු අනුව විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලයේ සම්ප්‍රේෂණ පද්ධතිය ඇතු බිඳ වැටීමක් නිසායි මේ මැෂින් තුනම නතර වුණේ කියලා. හැබැයි අපිට අත්දිනුණු සිද්ධිය තමයි පළවෙනි සහ තුන්වෙනි machines මේ නතර වෙලා තිබුණේ ටිකක් අසාමාන්‍ය විදිහට. ඉතින් ඒ තත්ත්වයන් පිළිබඳ පූර්ණ වාර්තාවක් අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා කමිටුවෙන්.
More news after this break. Welcome after the break. The central bank says external sector performance improved in July with a reduction of the trade deficit, increased tourist earnings and high inflows to the financial account. However, the latest data issued by the central bank showed lower demand for export commodities, especially tea, has affected negatively on export performance. Continuing the year-on-year declining trend which began from March 2015, earnings from exports declined by 4.4% to $891 million in July from $932 million in July 2015. Export earnings from tea has dropped by 14.8% to $108 million in July due to lower demand, particularly from Russia and Middle Eastern countries, although tea exports to Iran increased in comparison to July 2015. Further, earnings from export of spices declined significantly by 31.8%. However, earnings from seafood exports to the EU grew by 19.9%, mainly as a result of the removal of EU fish ban. Earnings from textile and garments, which account for around 48% of total export earnings, grew by 3% to $426 million due to higher garment exports to the EU and non-traditional markets such as Canada, China, Australia and the UAE. On a cumulative basis, earnings from exports during the first 7 months of 2016 contracted by 5.6% to $6 billion. Meanwhile, on a cumulative basis, the expenditure on imports during the first 7 months of the year contracted by 2.9% to $10.7 billion. During this period, a larger share of 57% of imports were originated from China, India, Singapore, Japan and UAE. Up next is the news in brief. The annual conference of Asia Association of Remote Sensing, Asia's largest society of remote sensing scientists and professionals, was inaugurated in Colombo this morning. The theme of this year's conference is promoting spatial data infrastructure for sustainable economic development. It has brought together policymakers, practitioners and professionals from Asian countries to share their knowledge and insights. The City School of Architecture has organized a series of initiatives to commemorate its 30 years of excellence in architectural education in Sri Lanka. CSA will organize a two-day exhibition for public in November and will also issue a special magazine featuring CSA's achievements. Singer Schools Cricket Awards 2016 was held in Colombo recently. The school cricketers who excelled during 2015-16 season at diverse age groups were awarded at this event.
I strongly believe in that. The standard of Sri Lanka school cricket is improved in a couple of years, and we are proud that we are supporting that venture in a smaller way. But for the requirement requires by the schools in the many parts of the country, I think we are supporting in a big way.
More news after this break. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the stocks. Trading at the Colombo Stock Exchange ended in red today. The All Share Price Index dipped 29.85 to end trading at 6,453, and S&P SL 20 Index shed 16.68 points to close the day at 3,598. Turnover was 292 million rupees and 23.7 million shares changed hands. Top gainers for the day were Tess Agro Non-Voting, Malvatta, Kahavatta, Tess Agro and Adam Investments. Let's take a look at the day's forex rates. That's all we have for you tonight. See you tomorrow at the same time. Take care. Good night.